Hi, this is Trey Passer. As promised in my blog, I went to see The Magnificent Seven. Of course, this is a remake, of course, of the original Seven Samurai, and then it was remade as The Magnificent Seven Out West. And of course, there's been countless remakes. I think there was even a TV show, I think, back in the 90s, I think, with Michael Biehn and I forgot the other actors that were in that show. But I remember it was on CBS, I think, for like 2 seasons, I think. But and I've seen a couple of episodes of that. That was actually pretty decent. But anyway, I was looking forward to this. This remake of Magnificent Seven, of course, is directed by Anton Fuqua, Freak. Okay, well, I know I butchered his name, but I'm sorry about that. But he's done Training Day, various other movies. And of course, this is the first movie with him and Denzel Washington and Ethan Hawke since Training Day. Of course, so I was looking forward to seeing this. This is my ticket stub. I'm a big Western fan, of course, naturally. As I said in my blog this morning, I'm a big Western fan. Love Westerns. It's one of my favorite genres. So when I saw the trailers for this, I was all in, especially being a remake of The Magnificent Seven, because I love that story. I love the whole premise of it. And this is basically the same story. You have this town, and it's being terrorized by a bad guy, and in this case, it's Peter Sarsgaard, who plays Bartholomew Bork. I think that's his name. His character's name. Anyway, he's the mustache twirling villain who basically comes to town and wants to take the land, and the people try to stand up, and him and his band of thugs shoot them down. And like you see in the trailer, Haley Bennett's character, she plays Emma Cullen. She, of course, she comes and she has to go try to, she's one of the ones who wants to fight back. And so she, of course, you see in the trailer, she goes to Denzel Washington's character, Chisholm, who's Sam Chisholm, who's I think they call him a bounty hunter and duty-ties deputy in 7 states. So that's what they say about him. But of course, she goes to him, and like you see in the trailer, she wants uh, righteousness, but she'll settle for revenge, like that. But of course, so he has to go around, rounding up the cast of characters. Of course, Chris Pratt is in this, and Ethan Hawke, and Vincent D'Onofrio, Bong Hung Lee, Emmanuel Garcia Ruffa, and Martin Sesmis. Now, of course, Chris Pratt plays Josh Faraday. He's the rogue, the gambler, the smart, the one with the mouth, of course. And Ethan Hawke plays a character named Goodnight Farashar. I think that's his character's name. And his character actually has history with Denzel Washington's character, of course. And he hangs out with Bong Hung Lee's character, Billy Rocks, and they have a history of hanging out together, of course. And then you have the Mexican, played by Manuel Garcia Ruffa, who's a bit of a rough guy, but he's up for anything. And then you have Martin Sasmar, he plays Red Harvest, who's an Indian, of course, they find on the road, who joins up with them. And then you have Vincent D'Onofrio, who plays Jack Horner. It's Jack. Let me make sure I get his name right. Jack Horn. Yeah, Jack Horn. He's basically a tracker and stuff, and and these characters come together, of course, to help, to take back the town, and of course to stand up to the bad guy, Bartholomew Bork, Peter Sarsgaard's character. Did I like this movie? Yes, I absolutely love it. I love this movie. I'm a big wrestling fan, and this movie gave me everything I wanted to. The only negative to me in this movie was wasn't much characterization. I mean, you got a little bit of it on some of the characters, but not on. I think this movie probably would have been 3 hours if you really gave the characters more characterization. I think that was the only kind of weak spot of the script, that you didn't get that to know the characters that well. I mean, only certain characters they did give some characterization to, but not the 7. You didn't get to know everything about them. But that still didn't stop my enjoyment of this movie. I thought this movie was action-packed, entertaining. I thought Peter Sarsgaard played a good villain. He was nice and mustache twirling and evil, so he played his part. And Denzel Washington, I thought was great as Sam Chisholm. He was just a total badass and Man in Black. And Chris Pratt was his usual, smart aleck self, and he was good. But I really like Ethan Hawke's character. His character, I think, had the most depth to him, if you want to say that. Okay, he had a history. Like I say, he had a history with Denzel Washington's character, Sam Chisholm, and his character by itself there was more going on behind that, and then they gave you some characterization for him. So I think he was the only character who got really good depth added in the script. And I thought Bong Hung Lee, I thought it was great because Billy Rocks. You know, like I said, him and Ethan Hawke's character had a history. You know, they hung out together and stuff, and I thought he was a total badass. And I liked Manuel Garcia Ruffalo, who plays Vasquez, the Mexican. Him and Chris Pratt had a little frenemy type thing going on, and I thought he was great. And Martin Sassmer, who plays Red Harvest, you know, he's like a silent. He was the Indian, and he was, of course, a kind of a silent assassin type character. And I thought he played the part well for what it was. And I liked Haley Bennett. I thought she was good as Emma Cullen. She wasn't no mere damsel in distress. She was rough. I mean, she was tough, and she stood up for herself. And and she, I really liked her character because she wasn't dependent on any man to, I mean, she depended on them because she hired him, but she wasn't dependent on any man. She was willing to fight for her right, for her rights. And so I liked her character. I thought she was one of the stronger characters in there. And of course, Vincent D'Onofrio, who I absolutely just enjoy him as an actor. He's just been great in everything he does. Of course, in Kingpin, of course, and remember he was on Law and Order. He's just a great actor. And this character is kind of a little bit eccentric, but I still enjoy Vincent D'Onofrio. He's just a great actor, Vincent D'Onofrio. He just really is. And one day he should win an Oscar or something, or an Emmy or something. He probably already won Emmys, I think, already for Law and Order. But he's an entertaining character in this movie. And like I said, violence. You get nice shootouts in this. Great action sequence in this movie. And like I said, the only weak spots in this movie to me was like the script wasn't. You didn't get to know the characters as well as I guess you could have. And maybe there were parts they cut out the movie. Maybe they did cut those parts out. So I have to see when the movie comes out on video. Maybe there were parts that gave you that background, but they were cut out for time, maybe, because I think this movie is over 2 hours long. I think so. Maybe those parts were cut out for time and stuff. But other than that, I absolutely love this movie. Like I said, I'm a big Western fan, and I loved it. This was so entertaining to me, and I would love to see another Magnificent Seven, version. If they come out with a sequel or whatever, I would definitely go see it. I'm a big Western fan anyway, so there it goes. Anyway, I'm gonna give this movie I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10. I would have given it an 8.5 if the script was better. Meaning, if you got to know the characters better, I think that would have pushed it over the top for me. But like again, maybe they cut those parts out for time. With exploring each character's background a little bit. Maybe they cut that out for time. Maybe they did. I don't know that unless you'll see the video when it comes out on Blu-ray. But other than that, I absolutely love this movie. One of the best movies I've seen this year. One of the best action movies I've seen in the year. One of the best movies, period. Again, 8 out of 10 for me. I definitely highly recommend it. Definitely go see this. Go see this remake. It's just absolutely fantastic. And all the actors, I think, had good chemistry between each other. And what more can I say? Go see this movie. Anyway, 8 out of 10 for me. Let me know what you think. Feel free to leave comments down below. And if you like this review, please hit the subscribe button down below. And this is Trey Pastor saying so long and take care.